Welcome. My name is Joseph, and I wanted to take a few minutes to share with you how you can quickly get Jenkins running on CloudFormation. This first video will cover how to get your AWS account ready to run Jenkins. There's a few steps that we have to talk about, so first we'll look at an overview, and then we'll dive into the step-by-step directions. Okay, so the first step is that we need to get Route 53 going. This is Amazon's domain name registration and DNS service. This will work with Cloudflare to make our Jenkins installation accessible to the internet. All right, step 2. We need to create your own S3 bucket. This will store your nightly Jenkins backups for safekeeping. We're almost done here. Step number 3 is that we need to decide which virtual private cloud to use. Virtual private cloud is your own little segment of Amazon's giant network. For the purposes of this video, we're going to look at the default virtual private network that comes with an empty AWS account. Okay, that's it. Let's dive into the tutorial and see just how easy this is to get done.
Alrighty, so here we are in our AWS control panel. There are a couple actions we need to make here. First, we need to set up our Route 53 domain name and DNS entries. Then we need to go in and create an S3 bucket. And then we'll take a look at the VPC, the virtual private cloud. So the first thing we need to do is go find the Route 53 area. And all we have to do is just register a domain name. Now I've already registered SwiftOtter-training.com, but this process is simple. Just click register domain name, and I'm just going to say SwiftOtter-test. And we'll check and see if that one is available. Don't know why it wouldn't be. All right, so we'll click add to cart. It's a little bit messed up with the screen. We'll scroll down to the bottom, click on continue, and we can choose the information here, continue, and you will want to click I have read and agree to this, and then you can complete the purchase. So this will register the domain name to you. You will probably have you'll have actually one email to respond to in your inbox. So once we have registered a domain name, and make note of that domain name because we'll be needing it when we set up our CloudFormation stack. Next thing we need to do is go to S3. So we'll just type in S3 here. All right, you'll notice I've already set up SwiftOtter-training-Jenkins just as kind of a test bucket, but the process for creating a bucket is similarly easy. Just click on create bucket, choose whatever you want, only letters and I believe hyphens are allowed, so I'll just type in training-Jen, if I can actually type today. All right, so with Jenkins 1, we're not going to copy from any other buckets. And it looks like it's actually a little small to scroll down, but you're just going to click next a couple of times. The defaults are all good, so we'll just close out of this. All right, so we have 2 steps out of basically 4 done. That's pretty easy. Let's go up to services, and we'll now type in VPC for virtual private cloud. You'll notice that Amazon starts you with a default setup. So we have one default virtual private cloud, and we have some subnets. So you could name this by just clicking on the box, the empty box for where the name is, and we could call it default. And then we can set what subnet. And one thing to note here is these subnets are tied to the availability zones. And our CloudFormation template is actually not tied to a specific availability zone. So we are focusing on the US East region, but you can select, you cannot select which zone you want it to go to at this point. So for the CloudFormation stack, we're just going to select all of them and then let Amazon and the load balancer determine where it's pointing to. So there's nothing you need to do here. And then finally, we'll take a look at the security groups. There was a default one also specified. And then what I like to do is you can add your IP address in as an inbound rule, or you can also just specify it through our CloudFormation template. So this would be, I guess, more of a case where if you have multiple you want to add, allowing access to this specific instance, the instance that is actually hosting Jenkins, you can add them here. But for now, the CloudFormation stack template allows you to specify a IP address to whitelist for SSH. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's about as simple as it gets. We registered our Route 53 domain name. We looked at how to set up an S3 bucket. And then we looked through our VPC settings to see the defaults that are there, as well as sharing with you where you need to go in order to whitelist more IP addresses.